The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
We are back, and you're looking live at a very weird-looking Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center here at the Star in Frisco, where it is 98 degrees and it feels like 104. That's the high for today. The low tonight is going to be 80, and they are getting ready for practice. Yeah, we talk about practice here at the Star, and they've got inflatables about to go up, and come on out to practice tonight. I don't know the times. We'll get you the times and tell you here in a little
6
bit.
6 o'clock, I think.
6? Is that what it is?
Yeah, about 5. They'll start stretching around 5:30 sometime, like that.
Practice tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday night here at the Star. So come check it out at Ford Center. And if you are looking, man, we look good. Welcome to the brand new SWBC
Can we
Mortgage
get some light back there in the
studio.
hole? Can we get some? See, this I should have worn an all-white shirt. This me. It's Nate.
Glad you got that gray in your beard.
Yeah, for
A
real.
little bit.
Lord,
So,
gee, I can see Sharon. Can't even see myself.
I mean, this is nice. I mean, this is state of the art. It was nice before, but if you can't see this, go check this out on YouTube after the show. Because we are the people show on YouTube. So,
yes.
But go check it out, man. It's got that fresh studio smell.
Right.
It's just
Don't smell
nice.
like a locker room just
and
yet.
and it's good to like be face to face. What'd you say, Jess?
It don't smell like a locker room.
It doesn't yet.
It's better the 70s or 80s locker room.
I like the way he said yet.
Yeah.
You sound a little far off. You sound like you're across the room.
Wow.
Oh, did we spray these down?
I wiped mine down.
You did? Okay.
I sure did.
Because I remember several years ago we made fun of Jesse for a whole 2 years for spraying down his microphone.
And
nobody laughed after 2020, did they?
He was like, Lysol, where's all the Lysol? I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, this show is brought to you each and every day by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. And we are hanging with the boys. Jesse Holley, Nate Newton, Shannon Gross in studio. We are missing Kurt Daniels. He'll be back with us hopefully later this week. But, fellas, we are not the first podcast to be on since the game. But this is the people
We're
show.
the best podcast
Well, we're going to tell it like it is.
to be on from the
Because there were some really good things that happened, and there were some really not so good things that happened. And there's probably some people that solidified some jobs.
Yes.
And there's probably some people that we probably need to see you in the lineup at least one more this last game. You might get some playing time.
Before we introduce you to the practice squad, the streets.
which is not a problem.
Before we
It's not
get
a problem. Practice
Yeah.
squad is not a problem.
Nah.
They
but the
make 6
streets
figures
are.
now.
But the streets
The
are.
streets is a problem.
Hey,
Yeah.
sometimes that practice squad can open some doors to life and just let you just
Let me tell you.
stick around that Star and
Let me tell you.
make a living.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you from what I know and not what I heard.
All right, before we get into the football stuff, because, this show, we're about football because you guys played football, and that's what makes our show so great. But we're also about nonsense. Was it nonsense for Brandin Cooks, Stephon Gilmore, and Michael Parsons to go take a joyride in a little puddle jumper, crop duster, before the game and buzz the tower over the Seahawks field? I just want to licensed pilot, nothing wrong with
Brandin
it.
Cooks a licensed pilot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's it's probably safer than getting in a car with someone with a driver's license. The odds of things happening are probably far less. There's probably far less airplane incidents that happen than car incidents. But it still makes you nervous seeing that much money and those particular guys. I mean, any guy really that's on your team. As a fan, the comments were funny. Like,
There had to be a fourth guy up there.
I don't think there was room in that plane for. Well, yeah, somebody in the front.
Had the camera. Somebody had the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 2 people in the front seat, right?
So you had a
It's not
co-pilot.
an Uber where the guy just like y'all in the back,
Right.
you know?
I guess he had a co-pilot, but
He must have.
Well, Nate, I know your answer. You don't like to fly anyway. You don't get on the big planes.
I didn't even finish reading it. When they told me it was 3 Cowboy players, I say, you know what? If I'm Mr. Jones, I bring and say, you know what, fellas? I enjoy giving out this money for what y'all do for me. But if you pull that one again, we're going to see how we can get some of this back. Because that, to me, that don't make no sense. It's certain things just don't make sense. That did not make sense. That was,
You shouldn't ride motorcycles during the season.
That's right.
Jerry's
Yeah,
like, you want to
that's
fly
right.
the jet? Come see me.
Yeah.
Shouldn't play pickup basketball. Certain things you probably shouldn't do. But
Come on, man.
what do you think, Jess?
And some of these things are contractual.
By the way, welcome back, Chris. It's good to have you
Yes,
in the studio.
yes.
Man.
What's up, man?
Good to hear that familiar voice.
Shout out to Jazz for holding it down, and
Yes,
Terrence for the
she
rest of the
definitely
crew.
held it down.
Held it
Absolutely.
down while you were away at training camp, but we're glad to have you back.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
But some of those things are contractual. Like
Golly, you
there are
don't do
things
that, man.
in the CBA and a lot of the contracts that you put in where you're not supposed to do
Things
the
detrimental
extreme sport type stuff, right?
skydiving,
certain type of jet skiing and things like that.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, I know Jerry was like, what the hell are
Bruh.
you doing?
So I didn't do a very good job of explaining like I'm really good at doing. I just run with things. If you didn't see the video, it was all over social media. Brandin Cooks is supposedly a licensed pilot.
Why you do supposedly?
I don't know.
He
'Cause
is.
he is. How do you know? Did you go pull his
Well, I went to
pilot's
his
license?
No, I went to his Instagram and kind of went back, and there was another time where he was flying. So
But doesn't mean he's a licensed pilot.
Well, you never know.
Go to the FAA website and pull his license. Anyway,
I'll look that up.
he supposedly is allegedly is a licensed pilot, and he took Stephon Gilmore, Micah Parsons, and I guess this other unknown person that was taking the video. And they decided before the Seattle game, most people are going to the Pike Fish Market and hanging out and going to the original
Space
Starbucks,
Needle.
the Space Needle. And they're like, let's just get in this plane and let Brandon fly us over the Seahawks Stadium. And so they did. And he posted the video on social media, and we're having this conversation now. So
But you know what I don't like? And this is my get off my lawn old man moment. Okay? Buckle up. Buckle up, Nate. Buckle up, Chris. Buckle up, people. Why can't we just do stuff in silence anymore? Why does everything have to be
that dopamine, man.
posted? Why does everything have to be filmed? Why does everything have to be
Nate's laughing.
just social medialized?
Are you talking about him of all people? Him of all people? Why can't
Explain it to us, Jesse.
Mr. Twitter, Mr. X?
Mr. X, explain it to us.
But no one knows what I'm doing. I don't post where I'm at.
You don't
post
have
what
to
I'm
because
doing.
you're on it all the time.
Yeah,
all they
that's
got to do is hit
engagement.
follow Jesse, and
can't
they can
know.
get blow by blow of where you at,
You have
Jesse.
no- I was on a luxury vacation a month ago in a very nice place that I
Right.
told y'all about.
Right.
And the people on social media don't know where I was at.
Flex. It was a soft flex right there.
What I'm saying, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in my life,
And there's probably a lot of stuff goes on in their life, but
but this type of stuff, you don't have
that
to
one's
post
smart
everything.
stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to post this. You don't have to post in your car. And I'm not saying that them, but I've seen other guys post in their car that they're doing over 100. You don't have to post all these different things. Some stuff is not for
Self-incriminating
public
stuff.
consumption.
Is that why you're not on Instagram? Because you would be tempted to do
yes.
that type
No,
of
I'm
stuff?
not on Instagram because I would be tempted to look at the ladies on Instagram. Okay, if there's a vice, you want to take it there?
Yeah.
If there's a vice for Jesse Holly, it's women.
Right.
I love
In trailer parks.
and especially the ones in trailer parks. If there's a vice, so that's all Instagram is. It's now become a cesspool of just pictures of women upon women upon women upon women, which is not good for me. So I don't get on Instagram.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's like if you have a drinking problem, you probably shouldn't hang out at the bar.
Right.
Hence why I do not attend strip clubs. Don't have been to 2 my whole life. Almost 40 years old, been to 2.
Right.
Just don't.
Yeah.
But don't try to get me off subject, Shannon.
Okay, sorry. It's good that you know your limits, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
X.
Your vices.
X.
But everything is not for public consumption.
I
Some
agree.
things you should just keep to yourself.
And then you got to think, like, if this is the kind of stuff they're putting out there. What kind of stuff are they not? Because they ain't putting everything out.
No, but then you open yourself up for this type of criticism. Mm-hmm. You open yourself up to now say how dangerous this is.
Right.
How, this, some may deem it stupid. Some may not deem it stupid. These different things that you just.
Do you think there was a internal conversation within the organization where someone had to go talk to them?
This was addressed.
Oh, yeah.
I can't say for sure.
Yeah. Somebody said something.
There was a team meeting, and this was talked about.
So you think it was in the team
We
meeting?
ain't finna do this.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Let me make this clear. Okay?
Here's the video.
Brandin, we're glad that you have your pilot's license. We're thankful that you went and found some other thing that you like to do outside of football. Don't do that on our time.
Yeah.
You fly on your own time. You fly when you decide to retire, or you're not under contract for the Dallas Cowboys.
So you think it was
damn sure don't take our second year alien with you.
Right.
Keep him on the ground. Keep him away from harm's danger. If you want to go and do what you want to do with your career, that's fine. But double sticks, number 11, you keep him grounded.
Thank you.
You keep him on the ground, and you don't mess with us.
So
like
you
that.
think it was not just, hey, you three come talk. It was in the team meeting.
The
Everybody needs to
smart
hear this.
thing to do was like Jesse just said, team meeting.
Talk a little bit about. We're so far off topic, but I think this is a good conversation.
Okay, let me get back on top. We got a third preseason, third scrimmage this week. And don't worry about it. Just watch it. We'll tell you more if something happened, okay?
You would be proud. Thursday, we didn't even talk about the game. Right before we left, signed off the show, we were like, we didn't even talk about the game. After you hung
a
up
scrimmage,
on us.
bruh.
After
It
you
ain't
hung up
no.
on us.
These are scrimmages. Okay, we need for 76 to get better, and that's awesome. We need for TJ Bass to get better. That's 66. The rest of y'all do what you got to do.
Jalen Tolbert keep getting better.
You told us
the O-line is good.
You said we good.
We good. We are.
All right.
As long as no one, I'm going to keep saying, as long as no one gets hurt. But just in case somebody get hurt. Yeah, 76 and 66, please do y'all jobs and get better quickly. We good.
We good.
All right, I'm glad we got that cleared up.
We got to clear it up.
That's
and
all.
Jalen Tolbert, hats
going.
off to you, bro.
Keep going.
Now, Jess, I got to get your opinion before we go away from that. That boy, he woke up. It's like he got out of bed.
Hang on. We'll get back. We'll just do that in the second segment.
Yeah, let Jess.
The first.
And we taking them boys out there flying like that, man.
Well, here's what I want to address.
What you gonna dress? You gonna put on a dress?
For those people, no.
Okay.
Nate's showing out because we got a tour outside the studio, and he's so happy that there's actually people back in the building where he can see them. He's trying to derail the show.
Okay, go ahead on.
Talk about, both of you, the bond in a normal job. When someone makes a mistake, someone messes up, something needs to be addressed, you do it in a manner where you don't call people out by name. You don't point it out. You say, someone within the organization did this, someone within the company did this, right? You don't want anybody to feel singled out.
Right.
The culture in a football locker room is 180. It is you mess with that person. You make sure they know they messed up. One, you need to do that, right, for them to be able to do their job and get better. But two, those are your best friends in those meeting rooms, and it's like, oh, I did this, like I'm going to hear about this tomorrow. You miss a block, you get blown up, you get your head taken off, like anything. It's talked about. It's talked about openly, freely, in public, in the meeting room, everything. But talk about, because you made a good point.
Want us to do it now, the break you're trying to get to?
Do what? Do it now.
I thought we was going to the break.
No, we're going to break in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you.
But both of you talk about, like, why is that important in a football atmosphere, in a team atmosphere?
Go ahead on, Jess.
And why is it so different than it is in everyday life and every other job?
I mean, these are your brothers. These are the guys that you're experiencing every day with. Like when you sign on to play professional sports, you spend more time with the men in that locker room than you do with your natural family. Like literally, you do. And if I can't come to you as a man, then I can't really trust you when this thing get thick. Mm-hmm. When our backs are against the wall. If we can't have open jokes, if we can't have things where we share that type of relationship, then I don't know what's going to happen when it get real thick out there. What's going to happen when it's really on our backs?
Thick like the trailer park. Huh?
thick like cold oatmeal.
That's cold.
Like the kindergarten crayons thick. You know, Crayola crayons are the one they can't break. Like, so you want to be able to establish that like we are in this together, but we gonna have fun. Like when guys used to get chewed out of meetings, you come out of a meeting and then like whoever was in that meeting, whether it was a position meeting or you hear guys say, chewed, you got chewed out. And you gotta just eat that. Because the funny part about it is everybody will get their turn. Like you're gonna get it. Like at some point in time, Nate gonna give up a sack. At some point in time, I'm gonna drop a pass. Some point in time, I'm gonna do something.
Mine's more vicious than his. Sacks get more.
Yeah. But
More attention.
Yeah.
But you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear if Jerome Brown knock you across the head and run by you. God damn, Nate, I felt the earth shake, something like that. You know.
Yeah, they're gonna get it.
And that goes back when you played, right?
Yes.
That's just culture of every
each
team
year
you're on,
gets
right?
each year, depending on the player and who you are, because what you learn is I know Jesse places where I shouldn't go with Jesse too. It's gonna be places where you can't go with Jesse or you can't go with me. Now, in my locker room, when you walked in, it was like, hey, it's wide open. Everything goes. But in each locker room, it's a little bit different. The 49ers didn't play like we played, you know, with the joking and the teasing. And I don't know how New England did it. You know how New England did it. When I went to the Panthers that one year, it was some sensitive people in that room. And they hadn't experienced the highs and lows that we had. And so
but everybody still got it a little bit.
Yeah, you got it a little bit. Yeah, but we were here in Cowboy Land is unique because you walk in the door knowing that the world, you know, you belong to the world. And that kind of makes it easier to get at guys.
All right. Just wanted to know because I know it's different. Like it's a different animal being in this building and in the like you know, like I said, in the corporate world, those three people are probably getting called in either separately or as a little small group, and no one else even knows what that conversation is.
Did you have a parachute? Cooks, did you put on a parachute? That's the first thing everybody like, bruh, crop dust, parachute, does it mean anything?
Like, I'm sure, like, I don't know for certain, but I'm positive that wasn't something that was brought to the desk of Mike McCarthy. Like, it wasn't like, hey, coach, so me, Stephon, and Micah are going to do a plane ride, and I'm driving. Like, it just wasn't. That just wasn't something that was brought to the desk and it was okayed by anybody.
Three game changes.
Like that.
Three game changes.
Like, that was definitely one of those, we'll ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to ask for permission, but we're going to seek forgiveness later on.
Do you think it went through any of the three of their minds? Like, is this a good idea?
Yeah.
You think it did?
Yeah, Brandin Cooks. Brandin Cooks.
Like, oh, cool, airplane.
But
Brandin
Brandin Cooks just wanted to show the world, you know.
My skills. I get it.
I can fly this thing, dog. But I'm telling you, Brandin Cooks saying, boy, like Jesse said, we're going to have to go in front of coach and be skinning and grinning. Like, yeah, coach, we did something that wasn't so smart. After we thought about it. Yeah, you thought about it before you got on that plane.
I can't believe we just spent a whole segment.
That's good content
on that.
Yeah, but that was great. That was great.
Good feedback.
I thought we was going to a break 3 minutes ago, but I see you extended it. So.
All right, yeah, we're going to go to a break now. Thanks for hanging with us through this nonsensical first segment in our
when
brand new
does a sack
studio.
equal to a drop pass? I don't know when that changed, but
you ain't never dropped the pass on third and 8 and it hit you in the hands.
Oh, by the way, we need to talk.
Dropped it out of a touchdown pass.
Jesse has one of my favorite shirts that he's ever worn on the show. I think this might only be like the second time you've ever worn it, huh?
Might be.
It's only the second time I think I've seen it. We'll talk about it next on Hanging with the Boys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys. Nate Newton, Jesse Holly, Shannon Gross in our brand new SWBC podcast studio. And our second segment is today and always brought to you by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com.
Blockchain.
Blockchain.
Every time I see the wing stop, now I think about the airplane just taking. Every time I see that now.
There's some kind of sponsorship there.
Yeah, every time I see them wings now.
Wingstop.
They
where
should have
Brandin
just
Cooks
stopped.
gets his wings.
Well, wings, he should have got his wings there right there.
Brandin Cooks deal.
So, Jess,
Yes.
the shirt you have on, it's very colorful. It's a navy shirt. I'll try to do my best to explain it. And then it's like almost like a watercolor mural on your chest that is Tony Romo. He has his hand on your shoulder. He has his infamous decap on that he used to always wear. You have your helmet on. You see your dreads in the background, and he's talking to you. What, when, and where, and what was he saying?
He was giving.
He's saying, "Please, Jesse, unmute yourself."
Sorry, I hit the what? My knee hit it.
New studio
problem. Sorry. He was giving me his Chipotle order on the sideline for the plane ride after the game. He's like, "I'm about to go win this game. Don't mess up my Chipotle order,
all right.
chump."
Fair
no,
enough.
but I don't know what he was saying in this picture. Literally, I have no clue what he was saying to me. This was right before we got
that the
ball back.
49ers game?
Should I call
49ers
him?
game. Sure, call him.
Take a picture of it.
And
ask him what he was saying.
and he was, whatever he was saying, I just kept saying, "Tony, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready, Tone. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready." And that's all I kept saying to him. And then we go out and he changes the play and he calls the play that was designated for Miles Austin, who went out earlier in that game with the hamstring injury. We win the game in overtime. Dan Bailey kicks it. And then we get on the plane ride home. The interesting part, we get on the plane ride home, punctured lung, broken ribs. Tony is in the back of the plane. And I walk to the back of the plane and I kind of just tap him on the shoulder and I'm just like, "Hey, man, why did you change the play? Like, why did you change the play?" And he just kind of gave me that Tony Romo grin with the dimple and he says, "You told me you were ready." And I was like, "That's enough for me." And I went and sat down.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah,
Is that all y'all ever talked about?
Roll
the play?
credits. The movie's over.
Yeah, the movie's over.
Did y'all ever talk about the play after that?
Nope.
Really? That
No,
was it?
That's it.
Players play.
That's it. That's it.
Players play, bro.
I actually had a conversation. I don't remember.
Then I went to the bench and never got another chance.
The next speech he got was, "I wish I had 52 more." That was an ugly speech. When Jason, I would have never. Me and Jason couldn't have spoke after that.
I haven't spoken to him since then.
52. Well, okay, coach, is one right here. Back ready to do your. Come on, man. Don't
Wasn't
tell
enough.
no player
He wanted
that.
53 of us.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone about the podcast, and I was like Nate, Kurt, another fellow that worked for the Cowboys, and Jesse Holly. I don't remember if you remember. He won 4th and long, and he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, we were talking about something, and I was like, he probably saved Dan Bailey's career. Dan Bailey had like a 13-year career in the NFL,
Long one.
and because he missed how many field goals in that game?
I think he missed a field goal and maybe an extra point. I think something like that.
And then if he was first game of the year, he was probably on his way out.
I gave him redemption.
You did.
Yeah.
Saved that man's, made that man some money.
I need to save Aubrey job then, huh?
I can't save him now. I could just talk about it.
He bought you dinner?
He did. Like years later. Because I kept saying it over and over again. I'm like, I'm the reason Dan Bailey went off.
Finally, he was like, shut up, Jesse. Here's a biscuit.
Yeah, his mom would always come. Like when he was playing here, his mom would always come to the game. That she would come by the broadcast when I was working with the flagship station, and she said, "Dan told me to give you this," and it was a gift card.
Oh, that's sweet. What's a great shirt?
To Luby's.
I love Luby's. You know why? Because I feel really young when I go to
It's
Luby's.
actually the Wingstop, so just letting you know.
Oh yeah, it's a Wingstop. It was a Wingstop.
Oh,
thanks,
Flavor
Chris.
got his wings.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris trying to keep us on the air.
Hey, I just want to make sure I say that. I want to make sure I say this before we get too far into the show. I saw something that really moved me earlier today.
Was it a laxative?
Roxanne Medina came in here and almost cried on Shannon's shoulder.
She did not.
That right there was moving. Rocks don't move for nobody, boy.
See,
You must be special.
That's an inside thing because most people don't know Rocks.
Yeah.
And
Rocks is one of our producers.
And she is a rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's a rock.
Yeah, well, I wish we had a picture of Rocks.
We call Rocks is Chris's work wife.
Yeah.
Because they fight like they're married.
Yeah.
But
they love each other.
They love each other.
Right.
And they've been, how long y'all been doing this together, Chris? You and Rocks.
This was my 25th season.
And she was here when you got here?
Yes, she was.
How long was she here before you got here?
96 was her first year.
I can't do math.
Man. So it's like she's like at like 28.
All right, so a couple of years before you?
Yeah.
And y'all been in the same department, working on the same projects all those years.
Yep.
Love to hate each other, don't you?
Shannon,
have you known Rocks longer than you've known your actual wife?
1,000%.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the funny thing about Rock, she didn't talk to me for the whole first year.
Really?
Rocks scoping him out.
Did not speak to me.
And that wasn't because she didn't like you. That's just because she didn't
I
talk.
worked in her department and she didn't talk to me. Which is funny because I was an intern. She didn't talk to interns.
Hey, tell Rocks to make an appearance in here, man, because we talking about somebody people be like, who in the world is this Rocks?
But that's cool.
We'll get Rocks on the show one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football.
All right, let's do it. I mean, we got to do. We're over halfway through the show, so we got to talk.
Let's
about
not bear the lead anymore.
What's the lead?
Well, I mean, there was a preseason game, and one of the things that we always talk about preseason games is you always want to hear everyone gets up. All right, after every play, everyone gets up, everyone gets back to the huddle, everyone goes home unscathed. Well,
not this one.
The curse of Seattle. It seems like every time we go to Seattle, we gotta quit going up there. We got to stop going up there. We lost two players in this game. One who was fighting for a chance to make this roster. They call him Stretch. John Stevens Jr.? What is his name?
John Stevens Jr.
John Stevens Jr. I get it confused sometimes. John Stevens
Which is tough
Jr.
around here because you have a John Stephen Jones.
Right. Yeah. That's what I want to say. Tight end / wide receiver, tore his ACL in this game. This was a guy, when you look at the tight end room, talk about they drafted Schoonmaker in the second round. You already had Hendershot. You already had Ferg. Sean McEwen,
yeah.
Don't worry.
It's spelled McKeon.
I got you.
It's Nate. Don't worry.
I got you.
Blame
I
it
got
on
you.
me.
And then you had this young guy who was making a push to possibly find his role, maybe the fourth tight end, maybe that practice squad situation. Out with the torn ACL.
Gone.
Done for the year. And then at the linebacker spot, you had one of the promising young studs who he wasn't making his way. He had made his way.
He was in.
He had made his way to this roster and had found himself in a situation where he was going to be a contributor day one. And that was Overshown.
Yeah. I got a question about that because he was on this team.
Yes.
And he's a kind of a unique guy, right? When you're planning on someone like that being on your team, have you already kind of knowing how Dan Quinn works, right? He's great at going, okay, I'm going to use this guy this way. Does he have to now kind of change and go, can I go find another guy like him to fit in this? Or do you find just a different – does that even matter?
I don't think Overshown was that deep into the game plan. Like, I think he was kind of almost in like, here's what we're going to be doing. Adapt to that. You adapt to what we're doing. It's not like Dan Quinn's adapting to Micah Parsons now. Like that, he ain't. We like Overshown.
Right.
He ain't make that much of a push. So I think he's kind of like, we're going to fit him in these spots where we think he could be successful. We like how we use him here, maybe on some rush downs, maybe on some coverages, and so on and so forth. But he ain't Micah Parsons specials where he's begun to have the game plan.
You ever have movies? You ever have TV shows where they have like, let's say CBS and they got ESPN and they got this, and this. Mm-hmm. Well, and then you say plus that little plus sign.
Yeah, he was the plus.
Last year, Bland was my guy. I was like, man, Bland should be starting. Well, who you gonna take out? I don't know, but he should be starting. Overshown should have been starting. That's just how I felt about this guy. Once I got hooked into him, I have to admit, the first week I'm like, I'm not watching them. But after that game, I watched him. Mm-hmm. And like you say, Jess, they didn't have a planned spot for him, but they went to saying, well, let's see if he play this position.
Yeah.
Let's see if he play this position. Oh, he can do this. This dude was not going to come off that field, bro. If he would have kept going at the rate he was going, him 33 and 55.
Damone Clark, Leighton Van Der Esch.
They would have been fighting. They would have brought that competition there because Jabril had took a back seat. I'm just telling you. Every time I watched them line up, Jabril had took a back seat. Now, through the injury, Jabril is thrust back into the spotlight.
And let me say this as far as when you look at a guy like this is – it may not sound great to say, but it's the reality of the National Football League. And one –
It's scripted?
No. The scripts are on their way in.
Right.
Stupid.
One, football is a 100% hurt business.
Yes.
You find one player that's played at our level, Nate, who has not been hurt, I can promise you it's a guy who has not played. Like,
Thank you.
You don't play this game and not get hurt.
Or a kicker or a punter.
Those guys even get hurt at times. But it's unfortunate what happened. I know that a lot of people are going to say, well, that's why you don't play guys in the preseason. Bull.
Stop.
Bull. It happens, right? You don't want it to happen, but that can happen in practice. There was nothing about what happened to him that was like, it was a freak. This would happen. Not going to happen in practice.
Yes.
Right? It's just, this is the business that we're in. The other thing is for a guy like Stevens Jr. is he was making a push to try to make this roster. Wasn't guaranteed, right? Mm-hmm. And then now he's hurt and he's out for the year. It doesn't sound good to say, but the reality is
not a bad thing for him.
Not a bad thing for him. I don't want anyone to be injured, but now what he's done is if they decide to injury release him, they have to pay him for the year, right? Because how the thing works is if you can't cut an injured player, you can injury settlement release a player. Meaning, whatever your injury is, the team doctor decide, okay, this is a 3-week injury. He should be back able to go for 3 weeks. If you accept that settlement, it's what you would have made, the base pay of what you would have made for that year prorated for those games, right?
Right.
And in that time frame, you can't go play for anybody else. So if it's a 3-week injury settlement, you get that cash, but you're kind of basically still property of the Cowboys until that 3 weeks is up.
Do you get to see their doctors and use their facilities and all that stuff? How does that part work? Do you know?
That part I don't know because sometimes they okay.
You do get to go up to the. You may not work with a team, but you can get to go up to that.
Okay.
The
gym. Okay.
Yeah.
But for a guy like this, now either they're going to give him a settlement for the year, which he walks away with a little bit of scratch in his pocket that he didn't have 6 months ago.
Basically,
right?
guarantee him a spot for a year on the team.
So now he has a chance to rehab while he's here, but he's in the meeting rooms every day,
soaking it all in,
getting understanding the playbook better, talking to coaches, being around players at practice. So he's still able to be around the team if they don't injury release him, be around the team and soak it up so that now when he gets here next spring,
he's got a year. It's almost like redshirting.
It's almost like redshirting.
But he's hurt, which sucks. And
that's the sucky part, right? Because next year isn't guaranteed. Who knows the leap that Schoonmaker may take or Ferg may take or Hendershot may take or whatever it may be. Next year is not promised to you, but neither was this year. Of you making this football team, and now you go from possibly being able to have to go and sell insurance or find a job to now having some scratch in the bank and being around this football team while you're rehabbing for at least a year, and then they may sign you again in the offseason and give you a chance to kind of come back and compete for a spot in the spring with knowledge of what you're actually doing now.
Yeah, because even if you get cut here and you go to another team, like you were around football, and like you said, you were in those meeting rooms, you were absorbing, instead of just being cut and then having to work out on your own at a private gym somewhere with some other guys that got cut. Because if you're on a team over the next 6-7 months, you're here. You're not working out on your own.
Right.
And then plus you're picking people's brains and you're getting knowledge and you're
just by osmosis, just being around the building, you're going to pick up different things. Guys are going to see you, coaches are going to see you, meeting rooms, information, playbook stuff. You can ask questions, you can see the mental reps on the practice field, and now you come in with a better understanding and hopefully take that second year leap.
All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, I'm going to go. We have a whole show run, but I want to ask y'all's opinion. You brought up the injury thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've got a theory on that. I don't know if y'all agree with me or not. This may just flop. It may just be way too much when we come back.
Okay,
on Hanging with the Boys. Kind of.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings each and every day. And we're just going to talk about all the sponsors. We are in the brand new, you can smell it, the new digs, the new SWBC studio, the podcast studio, and the final segment, every show presented by Jigsaw, the proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And sorry, Jigsaw, but Jesse Holley will not be on your platform because he has a problem. He has a weakness. I wouldn't call it a problem. I would just call it
It's a vice.
It is a vice.
We all have our thing.
That's going to be a segment.
A vice segment?
Yeah, we'll do a vice segment on this show before we. It doesn't have to be bad. It could be a good vice. We'll do that one day. All right. Few things. We got 5 minutes to get to all this?
Sure.
All right.
And plus
that,
your flop you was talking about.
My flop. Okay. So the whole injury thing, right? The injury conversation, should you play guys, should you not play guys? Jesse, you brought up a great point. That could happen in practice. That could not happen in practice. Some of these injuries, they're probably going to be just a byproduct of a certain amount of reps that you do.
We've experienced it. Sean Lee tore an ACL, non-contact injury in practice. Tyron Smith last year, non-contact injury during practice.
Mm-hmm.
Took him out for the year.
Stevens kid got his legs tangled up with one of his own teammates.
Yeah. But my question to you is, I think every action causes a reaction, right? And
Yes.
things, if one thing changes, the future changes. This is where my tinfoil hat comes in. Like if I drop this phone, all right, now this is a completely different show because I dropped this phone.
You got to stop watching these shows, these documentaries.
But my question to you is, do you think guys should just like I'm worried about the timing with Dak and the receivers.
Yes.
I'm worried about it. I
Yes.
say let him play a little bit, maybe a quarter, maybe a half, because you can't predict the future. And just because he plays, if this guy cuts this way, that changes the way. I don't think that contributes to an injury happening or not. So that's my question is, should they play? Like,
to your theology, if you play Dak Prescott, you now have to play the starting offensive line, right? So like you're not putting 4 out there with Let's Go and
whoever else
and
Josh Ball.
and just some other guys who you're looking at.
Bass.
So that's a domino effect. If you put 4 in, then now you have to put.
And there's more chances because there's more guys out there and there's more.
You have to put, you know what I'm saying? And then now you got to. Then if you put 4 out there, guess what? 88's going to say, well, I want to play too.
Right.
3's going to say, well, shoot me up too, because they want the timing of him.
And
up.
you need him. I think you need him. If he plays, you need him.
So we're going to put them all in the crop duster.
So
spin them around Seattle Stadium. See what happens.
But no, to your point, and I've been saving this because I went out and I talked to, this is a forecasting tease. I went and talked to 2 former NFL quarterbacks and a current offensive coordinator in the collegiate level who is teaching the West Coast offense, and I asked them for 5 keys of principles when it comes to the quarterback in the West Coast offense. What are some of the principles that you teach for the quarterback position? And I'll give you just one of them. It's the accuracy and the timing. That's something that you have to get good with. And you've heard Dak Prescott say in many of his interviews, it's tied to my feet. It's tied to my feet. The timing is tied to my feet. You heard him say also, guys saying, well, we know where to be. We know when to be there. We know how. But the timing is different in practice than it is in the game. Guys are buzzing out to certain areas. Guys are in lanes that may not have been there. Guys are playing things differently. The looks are coming off different. The athlete is different. It's shorter. It's taller. It's quicker. It's longer. All these different things that play.
I like that. Say that again.
No, that come into contributing to this thing. So that's why I'm always of the mindset: get out there, get a couple series in, then get off the field. But they get a chance to see, okay, the timing of the slant route. When is it going to be? The out route. That's why I think playing is necessary, just because you get that football conditioning, especially in an offense that is relatively new to what they're doing.
It's new. It ain't no relatively. It's new.
And you're not doing joint practices.
Yeah.
So no joint practice and no preseason game?
I'm with you. Go ahead on. You
got it.
Oh,
Jesse says yes.
See,
let him play.
I would have played him in the first 2 games and not worried about this last game. The first 2 games, I'd have got me a quarter out of all my guys, because we talking about the offense that weren't run on timing and efficiency. Where have they got that? Because I watched them do a team in practice out there in Oxnard. That was a disaster most of the time. The first 5 plays never went off because number 11 done dropped out of a dusk. Right on top of our team, just spread it over our whole team. Just spread it over our whole team.
Dropped him out of the play.
Out of the crop duster. He just spread it over our whole defense. In the first 6 plays, just about every period was ruined. The first 2 or 4 plays. So Dak looked great when they went red zone 7-on-7. When they went open field 7-on-7. He looked great. But he didn't look great all the time when they was going against our defense, man.
And then practice also doesn't have the same level of consequence, right? So you take shots in practice that you're not going to take in the game mentally, right? So just like you need to get in the game and go, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Mike, Dak, are we on the same page? Are you and I, is it here and translating to here? Are we making sense? And I need to see it. Because the one place I don't want to start having to correct is Sunday night.
The scrimmages will be over this coming week, and then we'll start the preseason. It's going to be 4 games, and I'm hoping we can be 2-2 coming out of these preseason games. See, they just count. These preseason games count.
Nate, to those who are just joining us, Nate always calls the way that the league has now changed it. Nate has called the first 4 regular season games
preseason games. Getting to know your players.
And when you look at, when you look at the scheduling, this is going to be a difficult road.
Yes, it is.
So you drop one early in the year to the Giants.
Can't do it.
That may come back and drop you. That may come back and haunt you in December. We literally seen it happen to us, like multiple years, because we just think, well, all right, cool.
Like we got freaking Mike.
And this division has changed, fellas.
It's good.
This division has changed.
It's a defensive division now too.
I'm when we get closer to the season, when you look at, if I gave you a list of the top 15 to 20 defensive linemen, nose, guards, rush ends, defensive ends, if I gave you a list of the top 20,
yes,
the NFC East will hold a ton of those spots. Because number 1 is probably going to go to Aaron Donald. Number 2 is Micah Parsons. Then you got to add Dexter Lawrence in there, and Payne and Hargrave. It's going to be a battle.
There's no division that can boast 2 horses on their defensive line like the NFC East can.
Oh, every team.
Go to every team. We have 2 horses on our defensive line, and you're going to have to deal with that.
Yep.
And so that's why I'm saying, as long as we have 5 guys and they don't get injured, we all right.
One of them who constantly gets injured for the last
Hey,
6
bro,
years
I ain't trying to hear you. I ain't trying to hear you, Jess. Can you get us out? Can you get us out?
Yeah, we're out of time.
I don't want to hear
folks.
Jess. Don't start, Jess.
I'm sorry. We good.
We had so many more things to talk about.
Don't booty juice me, Jess.
Come out and watch practice. Come out here to the Star.
You coming out today?
I'm coming. I'm going to be with you.
Okay. Oh, sweet.
I'll be here tomorrow. I'm not coming.
I'm be with you.
Thanks for asking, though. Thanks for inviting me. Appreciate that, Nate. All right.
We love your mom. Is she coming back?
Whoa.
She'll be at the. She's coming. I'm gonna bring her to practice.
No, in our shows.
Oh, maybe. We'll
betting.
see.
I mean, not betting, but
picking games.
Picking games.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
For
I said the wrong thing.
Entertainment purposes.
I said it wrong.
Sure did.
You
All right.
don't work for the NFL right now, so you're good.
But I don't want to get in no trouble, bro. No, sir. We do not bet on games.
No way. No chance.
Publicly.
Anyway.
Privately for me either.
Yeah, man, the studio's nice. Chris, good to have you back with us.
Wingstop.
Josh, thanks for getting all the streams up. Jesse, thanks for bringing that's going to be our new Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. And Brandin Cooks. We're going to come up with something. Oh, you think we're going to get a call after this show?
No.
Okay, good. All right.
Because we settling.
They did it. We just talked
He's
about it.
the one that flew the plane
That's a
and
good
posted
point.
it.
Yeah. Good point. All right.
You think he got his wings?
It shouldn't
on
be.
his show?
He does the arrow. It shouldn't be this anymore.
Yeah.
Now it got to be. You got to do something.
Next time, get a drone.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Space Needle is fine.
Chris, good to have you back. But thanks to everybody that helped out while Chris.
Thanks,
was
Rox.
gone. Thanks, Rox, for the hug. That really,
I don't think Rox
really
helped us out. No,
meant,
let me
meant a
stop.
lot to me. Jazz, thanks for keeping us on the
Jazz.
air.
Jazz.
You and Terrence, thanks for keeping the thing
Terrence.
going while everybody
Terrence
was out
got
of
a big
town.
old head, man.
Welcome. So
What's the
you-
white guy? What's the new white guy that was on the jib?
on the jib?
Chris.
I don't know. Chris, what's the new guy?
Justin?
Dustin.
Yeah.
I think-
Justin.
Justin.
With a J.
Justin.
Sorry.
All right. Yep. Good job, everybody.
Dustin.
Thank
He
you
said
guys.
Dustin.
We don't have
Crop-
a jib in here,
crop-
so don't worry about
Crop
it.
dusted.
All right.
Crop dusted.
We got to go. We'll be back Thursday,
Dustin
1
Gooch.
o'clock, for the
Don't
final
really-
show of the preseason, and then we can get down to business next week. Jesse Holly.
We got
Nate
another
Newton,
scrimmage, y'all. Please
Shannon
watch
Gross.
it.
This has been Hanging with the Boys. See you Thursday. Bye-bye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?